Hey y'all, it's Dr. Know-It-All. I am with Chris Anthony, who is with Aptera. I think I got the logo in there.
There you go.
And yeah, we are really privileged, or I'm really privileged, to have the opportunity, first of all, to be wearing Sandy Monroe's shirt. This is so yeah, this Aptera shirt, but also to
literally
be able
took it off his back.
He did. Last night he took it off his back to give it to me, and it was pretty awesome. But also we're going to talk about the new Aptera Gamma, which was just revealed yesterday. So I feel pretty privileged about that too. So I guess, you know, talk about the history of how this vehicle evolved perhaps out of the original prototype. So,
yeah, I mean, this is just another step towards production. So we have 4 steps, alpha, beta, gamma, delta. You saw the alphas. We had built 3 of them that were very pretty, a white one, a black one, and a silver one. And then we built our beta, which was more of a suspension test mule, but it was very evolved from the first alphas. And now this beta vehicle, it really is an 80% production contented vehicle. So
fantastic.
It's got a lot of the things that you will see in production. But we have one last step, which is to finalize our design, then get all of our supply chain aligned with that design after we release the parts to them, and then build a production intent vehicle. And that vehicle is called Delta. So we hope to have Delta by the end of the year. And then work to scale production as we get into 2023.
Excellent. And you used to be, well, I mean, you're still based in San Diego, but the factory is
Carlsbad.
Carlsbad, thank you. Yeah. So just, what is it, about 45 minutes from here?
Yeah, it's like 20 miles north.
Yeah, so not that far away. But anyway, so basically still San Diego, but almost there. So yeah, I can't wait to actually look at some of the details of the vehicle. It's absolutely stunning. I was thinking last night, or when I saw it yesterday, I was like, it looks like a UFO almost.
It does almost look like a UFO.
So Elon Musk talked about, if a UFO landed on the road, they would still be able to get around it. I was like, I think the Aptera Gamma might actually be that UFO. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and take a look at it. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Cool. So actually, let's start with the solar panel, because one of the big deals is this car has 1,000 miles of range, and it also charges approximately 40-ish miles a day, depending on sunlight and stuff. And a lot of that magic is the solar panel. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we designed the world's most efficient vehicle, and as a consequence of burning only 100 watt-hours per mile, we're able to do cool things like solar charge the vehicle.
Right.
This is our hood option.
Okay.
The standard Aptera comes with the roof and the dash solar. That'll get you 15 to 17 miles a day of solar charging range.
Okay.
If you add on the hood and the rear hatch, then you get up to 40 miles of free solar charge range a day. And these are made with our proprietary methods here in San Diego.
Right.
They're made with a powder crystalline cell, so they can be very flexible and they can curve with the surface.
Right. And I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, you can see it's multiple curvatures at the same time.
It's kind of hard to see the actual cells, but the cells are the square right there.
Oh, okay.
The slight blue tinge versus the black.
Gotcha. And with the copper bus bar that goes in between. So,
we left them copper just so you could see them, but the copper is part of the process of getting them to bend in 2 directions too.
Right.
But all in total, these panels provide about 700 watts of power to the vehicle, peak watts.
Wow.
And over a sunny Southern California day, you get about 4 kilowatt hours of charging back into your battery pack, and that'll take you about 40 miles of free.
And part of the magic with this also is the management system, right? Because I've heard, because the variability of the sun and everything, you have to be really careful with how you charge the batteries and
we have a really trick solar charge controller that we built.
Right.
And it reacts very quick to changing conditions. So when you're driving down the freeway and you drive past a semi and maybe these cells over here are shaded, the system will adjust and it'll only take power from these cells, so it gets the maximum power out of each panel as you travel around. Birds flying over. You put
so
your
really
briefcase
anything,
on top
even
of the
that
vehicle.
tiny.
Even if you only shade one cell, the system adapts to that shading condition, which is important and maximizes your solar charge range.
Right. All right. Well, let's take a look at the vehicle then. Which, by the way, let me see if I can get a wide shot here to start with, because it is really attractive. Nice. So I don't know. Let's go maybe front to back, and then maybe the interior real quick. And
I mean, this vehicle, as you look at it compared to our alphas, we went through many aerodynamic design iterations. Artificial intelligent generative design helps us put a problem in the computer, and then the computer does thousands of iterations to tell us whether we should push or pull a surface to make it more aerodynamic.
Right.
So these wheel pants are changed drastically from the alphas. It really helps because there's a high pressure created between the body and the wheel pant, and that high pressure has to be relieved at the back of the wheel pant. It actually speeds up air as it exits the wheel pant and sucks that high pressure out.
Okay.
It's really the premise behind the whole body, which is a typical SUV or sedan has a blunt face to it.
Yes, exactly.
And there's a high pressure zone that you're creating as you drive down the freeway, and that high pressure has nowhere to go.
Right.
So this vehicle has a cambered body that cambers up in the back, and it actually speeds up the air under the belly and out the sides, and that's what sucks the high pressure zone out from the front of the vehicle and makes it so aerodynamic. And
Bernoulli's law tells us faster it goes, lower the pressure.
The faster it goes, the lower the pressure. That's why airplane wings lift.
Yeah, so that's awesome.
But,
and I also love the, this is a nice little element too. I assume that lights up. It's like a light bar.
Yeah, that's the light. That's the ultrasonic sensor, so you can tell when you're close to curbs and parking and such. But you can see our beautiful lighting package,
right?
Which gives the Aptera kind of a smile / smirk.
I love the rear views because this is one of the most inefficient parts of the car.
Yeah, I mean, we try to go the extra mile to make this as aerodynamic as possible. What we hope in the future is that all we have to have is the camera part, not not the mirror part.
Let's hope you guys manage to get the lobbying done, because that's actually an NHTSA thing, right? That you have to have a physical mirror. So, okay.
And you see the rest of the vehicle is obviously very curvaceous, because that's what makes it aerodynamic.
Right.
Solar on the roof and on the dash of this vehicle.
Right.
And then you can add the hood and the rear hatch. But it's an exercise in how do you make something as aerodynamic and lightweight as possible.
Right.
And that's what makes a vehicle that gets 100 watt-hours per mile. The average EV now is creeping up, over 400 watt-hours per mile. So we use a quarter of the energy per mile.
That's just amazing.
Which means we only need a quarter of the battery pack to go the same distance.
Right.
And imagine all the rare earth minerals that go into battery packs, how expensive they are. So if you want to have a commoditized, affordable electric vehicle, then having it be super efficient is the way to go.
That's amazing. Can we look in the trunk or the boot? Because this is one of the things that's really remarkable. It was open yesterday and I was looking at it, and it's just shocking to see how much space is actually in here. So, and if you don't notice, it's a two-seater, obviously, that you can get the 2 seats. And yeah, I mean, that is, do you know, like, how many cubic feet is that?
28 cubic feet.
Yeah, so, I mean, holy crap.
If you fold the seats forward, it's 7 feet from the back of the seats to the tail, so you can put a couple 7-foot surfboards in, you can put a couple mountain bikes. If you get the tent option that goes over the sides here, you can sleep 2 people comfortably in the back.
Really? Okay.
It really is an adventure type vehicle at that point. It's the only vehicle you can buy that creates its own fuel while you're out adventuring. So, so you could take this, drive it 300 miles to your favorite camping spot. You could leave it out in the sun for a week and actually come home with more charge in your vehicle than you left with.
So this is one of the few cars where you want to leave it in the driveway instead of in the garage.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll get charged up. It actually looks a lot like a marine vehicle when you look underneath it. It's got that sort of, like a rudder keel sort of idea.
Yeah, I mean, that's really just to split the air. And this rear wheel pant went through a lot of iterations as well to make sure that it was as efficient as possible. Between the Alphas and this, the tail actually got longer by 4 inches too. Okay. And the tail is squished quite a bit from where we were at kind of a year ago.
So tell us about the interior of the car, because this is absolutely gorgeous in here.
Yeah, we try to keep the interior as welcoming, as comfortable as possible. Something that's not tremendously unstandard, so people aren't comfortable inside. Right. The most unique thing is our yoke steering wheel, and that we have the 2 side vision cameras in front of the steering wheel. The effort is that those screens give you a sight picture of what's going on behind you, so you never have to look over to your side view mirrors. You keep your hands on the wheel, you're looking straight forward to the road, but you have sight awareness of what's behind you. Right. We also have a pretty cool center infotainment display, and it's it actually has the vent for the air conditioning integrated in the screen.
Oh, that's what Sandy was telling me about that.
So
that's really cool.
So the ventilation comes out on the top and sides of that screen, and you can direct it to the passenger, to the driver, up and down. And it makes for really good recirculation in the cabin, so we can have a smaller air conditioning unit that's more efficient.
Right, and actually it goes, like, I'm looking at, like, underneath there's actually a ton of room up there.
Yeah. We need to add kind of a thing for the footwell on the passenger side, because it's so deep that that's kind of uncomfortable.
You're just like stretched out,
Nothing else, but. It's really meant to be user-friendly, easy to get in, understand how to use. So, steering stock for turn signals and brights, but most of the buttons are on the center screen. So we only have 5 buttons in the interior: 2 on the door to open the doors, 1 hazard switch, and 2 accessory lights. Wow. All the other switches are on the screen.
Gotcha.
Drive mode.
With like a scroll kind of wheel or something on the steering wheel.
Yeah, I mean, you can get to some stuff there,
right.
but really it's meant that, if you want to do the wipers or if you want to do the Prindle or to put it into gear, it's all on the center screen. So HVAC, music, all on the center screen.
I'm a big minimalist fan, so I really appreciate that. It's
really more nice. Because we can upgrade the experience over time.
Right.
So we can, instead of being locked into a button or a switch somewhere that will never change, we're able to update our software and send it out over the air, and everybody's happy to get new functionality, and we can have a feedback loop. Once we have, hundreds of these on the road, thousands of these on the road, we'll get feedback, lots of feedback.
Right, but then you can upgrade it and make the experience better and better.
Oh, this is hard to read, or oh, this is hard to reach, or those types of things, and then we'll just keep evolving the software and make it better and better.
I really love that idea too, because you get the car and it's not like it's old the next day. It's like you keep getting upgrades and it gets better and better.
Yeah, we want this to be a generational vehicle. So all the solar panels are detachable and upgradable.
Oh, cool.
You can replace the center infotainment computer and the screen very easily. So when we're on to 6G or 10G or whatever the connectivity is in the future. The battery pack is easily replaced.
Right. And the battery pack is like
it's under
the belly, so you get a real low center of gravity. So even though it's a three-wheel vehicle, super
it drives
stable.
very sporty.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I was going to say also, because you got the wide berth, it's a lot of room here, so you're not going to turn and feel like one of those things where you're teetering as you're going. So very solid driving experience. I actually can't wait to drive one of these. This is going to be fantastic. A couple of questions. Number one, how much is it? You said early production will be 2024.
The entry price is $25,900. That gets you 250 miles of range.
Okay.
And plenty of solar charging capability.
Right. So absolutely, I mean, that's fantastic, and especially with the charging and everything. So, and it goes into production, you said you're hoping early 2024?
We're working on having a design intent vehicle by the end of the year and then start production in 2023.
Oh, wow, so sooner. That's excellent. And then the last question, because of course I see this over here, is invest in the future. So how could people invest in Aptera?
Yeah, you can invest in Aptera. I mean, wouldn't it have been great to invest in the early Google or Tesla? But, but 10 years ago, you had to be either a billionaire or a part of a big wealth fund to be able to enter into investments like that. Now we have a thing called crowdfunding where anybody with more than $1,000 can invest in great ideas. And we're doing that for Aptera, and we've taken on over 12,000 investors now, and we hope that a lot more people join the family of people that are supporting solar mobility, something that doesn't tax the grid, something that comes with zero fuel costs.
That is actually true, right? Because one of the things they say about electric cars is that they'll tax the grid, but this is not taxing the grid.
Just leave it in your driveway and charge it up and drive every day.
Fantastic. Wow. Thank you so much. And of course, we'll leave the information about the vehicle and investing and all that stuff in the description. And just FYI, I have no investment with Aptera or anything. This is just an interview, and I'm just very much a fan, right? I'm very much a fan of Aptera and what you guys are doing.
Wearing Sandy's shirt now,
I know, right?
An investor, so.
So I've got to be a fan. So anyway, thank you so much, Chris. I really do appreciate taking the time early in the morning, and we will talk later. Thanks. All right.
Thanks, sir.
All right. Bye-bye.